Trust me, I know what it feels like. In 2024, you're probably feeling like you're falling behind. You don't know what the next step is to do with your life. And you're just like, wow, looking at Instagram, looking at YouTube, looking at TikTok, you're seeing these like 14 and 15-year-old kids on that grind set mode, preaching the grind set, heading to Dubai, driving supercars. And it's like, where did I go wrong? These kids are 10 years younger than me, and they are absolutely killing it. Now, that might be a bit of a stretch. Some of these kids that you see online, they're not really telling you the truth, and some of them are, who knows? But the purpose of this video is how can you feel like you're getting ahead rather than falling behind in such a fast-paced environment that we have in 2024. So here's what I recommend you start doing right now if this is you, if you want to fix this issue. So in 2024, the personal brand, or just basically building a social media following, is all the hype, it's all the rage, but for good reason. Okay, I have experience with this. I've made tons and tons of online income from my personal brand and just selling digital products through the internet over the past few years. So I do believe this is the method, and probably the most simple method to getting ahead when it comes to feeling behind in 2024. So how do you do this? So for me, it's been posting content about my interests and focusing on a singular niche. Now, you might see other people talk about don't pick a niche, don't fizzle yourself down into one singular focus. But in my opinion, if you can only focus on one thing and be the best at it, that's how you grow, and that's how you gain interest of people who are following you. So you can do this through one of two ways, right? So if you're someone who is kind of nervous, you don't really like getting on camera, you don't like talking face to face like I am right now with you, you don't have to do that. There's tons of options when it comes to creating faceless YouTube channels, faceless Instagram accounts, faceless TikToks. The list goes on. Have a look on YouTube and look up how to get started with those kinds of things, because that is something that will work if you're someone who just doesn't have the confidence to get on camera and talk face to face. But trust me, if you can, on the other hand, be someone who does talk face to face to a camera, in my opinion, it is a lot easier to grow a personal brand rather than relying on a faceless social media account. So pick one of those two things and focus on them. Now, if personal branding isn't something that you want to get into and make a bunch of money through, that's totally fine. There's other things that are high income skills that you can start learning right now for free on the internet in order to get ahead in 2024. So what are those things? So in my opinion, and this is kind of biased because it's kind of what I do, but learning how to properly edit videos, whether it be in Adobe Premiere, in CapCut, in DaVinci Resolve, whatever platform it might be, it's going to be a very high income, high demand skill for years to come, because everybody wants to be a content creator. And it even goes back to the beginning of this video where I mentioned how you should be a personal brand or start branding or build social media. In order to do that, you need to know how to edit. Now, you don't have to be the personal brand. You can just provide the service of video editing through those platforms, like I said, Adobe Premiere, CapCut, DaVinci Resolve, even Final Cut Pro. And you can provide a very valuable service to people who want to join the content creation gold rush. All right, so that's one high income skill that I highly recommend you get into if you don't want to fall behind in 2024. The next one is going to be website development, because this kind of goes hand in hand when it comes to creating a personal brand. And you're going to notice a bit of a trend here. All of the high income services that I'm talking about right now filter into personal brands and just branding that I talked about in the beginning. So again, if you're not someone who wants to be in the personal brand, you can provide the services to the personal brands. Like I said, developing websites, and you don't have to know code for this kind of thing, but just building websites, I should say, it's a very high income, high demand skill right now. Okay, and you can use platforms like Wix, Squarespace, Framer, Webflow. These are all different services that you can utilize in order to build websites for clients who are building their personal brands or their websites. Or if they're in the e-commerce space, you can learn how to use things like Shopify or WooCommerce. Okay, these are all different platforms that if you learn through free tutorials on YouTube, there's thousands of them, how to do and how to build sites through them. It's a very high income, high in demand skill that you can earn a lot of money from. Next on this list, a little bit more complicated, but if you're someone who is tech savvy and doesn't want to build that personal brand, getting into software development and just learning how to code is honestly such a foundational skill these days. It's invaluable. Even if you don't utilize it for a while, it's something that will come into play in the future and will become a valuable skill for you, whether you're using it for a service for someone else or for your own projects. In my opinion, becoming basically fluent with software development and just code is such a high income skill, so high demand. It's crazy. Because I don't know how to do it, I've had to hire so many people, and it's cost me thousands of dollars because I just don't put the time in to learn about it. But if you're someone who wants to put the time in to learn about it, it will become a very high income, high demand service for you in the future. Next one on this list is learning how to copyright. Okay, this is one of the most basic things you can learn, but it's so powerful in this day and age because everyone wants to have a newsletter. Everyone wants to have a YouTube channel. Everyone wants to have Instagram reels that pop off. And if you're someone who can create scripts for those people or create high converting, very intriguing emails, copywriting is a very, very good service that you should learn how to be able to deliver. Okay. So people who have, like I said, Instagram pages or email lists or just sales pages for their products, they need people who can copyright for them in order to have high converting sales copy on their pages or on their newsletter or in their videos when it comes to scripting them. There's so many different applications when it comes to being a good writer and someone who can copyright effectively that it's going to be such a high income demand skill for you that you are going to earn a lot of money from it if you become good at it. And the last high income skill that I'm going to mention on this list is community building. All right. So you don't need to have a personal brand in order to build a community. I see a lot of people these days partnering with people who have followings, who have that massive personal brand and saying, hey, I'll take half of your revenue or a quarter of your revenue if you let me build your community and handle the whole thing for you. And you just keep doing what you're doing on your social media pages, on your Instagram, on your YouTube, on your TikTok. Bring customers in and I'll manage the back end community for you, and we'll charge, say, $50, $100 per month for it. And then you take 25% or 50% of the revenue. And it's a high income skill. Okay. The content creators probably don't want to manage their own community. So this is something you can offer to them through their Instagram. Hit them up with an email, get on a call with them, show them what you can do, and it's definitely a high income skill for you to learn in 2024. Last thing on this list, not really a service or anything like that, but if you're someone who's feeling behind and you have some change just sitting in your bank account, start investing that. Just start investing. This isn't financial advice, but just start investing your money. I'm not going to tell you what to invest it in, but consult a financial advisor and learn how to invest your money and make sure your money is working for you in the background instead of just sitting there in your bank account not doing anything, because it's not so much a skill, but it is a skill. It's something you need to do if you're young and you have money sitting in your bank account. Start investing it because it will pay off in the long run. Okay, so those are all the things I would recommend you start doing in 2024. If you're someone who is feeling behind, you don't know where to start, these are things that are just fundamentals to basically making an online income, whether it be through a personal brand, through services you provide, or just investing your money. They're all things that you can do right now for free and get started with and start to build your future and start to get ahead in 2024 as we move into 2025, 2026, all the different years, okay? Don't get caught up in death scrolling through Instagram Reels and TikToks, and instead start learning some skills and then applying those skills and making an online income from them. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe. I'm posting videos about digital products and just how to make an online income from them on my YouTube channel on a week-to-week basis. So if that sounds good to you guys, I'll see you in the next one.